first notified about Drew's accident was about 15 years ago, maybe 18 years ago now. Obviously, I was in graduate school, just married. Ella was all of 3 months or 4 months old, and it was devastating to me because even though we had the chance to go down and be with him and the family during that, 18 years later, I've never really had the opportunity to not just express to my brother, about the accident or anything, but it was never really around to be part of his life.
I'm sure everybody's aware by now that Javi and Alicia became engaged.
That is illegal, and I am happily married.
Sorry.
We're not in Kentucky.
Sorry. I thought we were a bit further south, but I was looking at Alicia when I was looking. Javi and dear Natalia were engaged earlier today, and we're so thrilled to officially welcome her into the family. We told these two for the longest time since we met Natalia early on. We told Jav that if anything ever happens in the relationship, we're keeping her. That definitely holds true. It definitely holds true. So we love you both, and we just want to congratulate you and celebrate with you. And we wish you nothing but happiness and a long life together.
Hi, I'm Andrew Klein. Live in Pleasanton, California. I've been friends with Andres and Donna for years, probably going on 25 years, I think. Met Andres in law school, actually before law school, when we were in the Air Force together at Scott Air Force Base. Then we went to law school together and been friends ever since. Andres was my best man at my wedding, and couldn't be more proud of him and what he's accomplished and what he's going to accomplish this weekend. To make Pikes Peak climb, and I'm speaking in the future because I'm sure he's going to make it. Anytime Andres has set his mind to something as impossible or as challenging or as difficult as the challenge has been, he's always accomplished what he set out to accomplish. So I'm convinced he's going to make history tomorrow, and I'm going to be there to watch it.
Well, I have to tell you that you've inspired me to make this climb. Because when I saw you like a year ago, I said, dude, you gotta get in shape. So that's why I invited all my brothers.
I'm trying to be serious here,
I invited
and
all
look what
my
he's trying to
brothers
do with
to
me.
do this, so.
And I'll have you know that I've been riding bike when I first was set. We were going to do this, and I made the commitment to do it. Riding my bike in Virginia for 30-35 miles.
Yeah, we'll see.
Losing weight for you.
Yeah, we'll see.
Actually,
we'll
Heidi.
See.
Listening to Heidi rag on me for months and months.
We'll see.
I'll be right along there with you, man.
Yeah. All right. We'll see who's huffing and puffing. We'll see. You look good, but boy.
Oh, thank you.
So when you
This is all for you.
When you talk about
I could have been eating hot dogs and pizza and all sorts of stuff.
When you talk about what inspired you to do this event, hey man, I saw my brothers. I said we gotta get these boys in shape. So give you a year's advance notice. We're doing it.
Well, and I appreciate you thinking of us more than you do of yourself.
Always on my mind, brother. I'm here for you.
And that's why I love you.
Hi, I'm Christy Hine. I'm Chris's wife, and it's my honor to be here this weekend to be with Andres and his family as he completes this amazing journey. And as soon as we were invited, I felt immediately honored and just overwhelmed that I could be a part of this. And not only that, but it's given me an opportunity to probably do one of my biggest physical challenges of my life. So I'm really appreciative of that.
So I prepared for this event by lifting weights again about 8 months ago. Started trying to get back into shape. I started cutting back a little bit on some of the drinking and some of the other things that I normally do. I've lost weight.
I basically for a month trained for 6 days a week. So it was 4 days of high intensity cardio and weight training. And then the other day I would go for a really, really long hike. It was 5 miles or more. So I got up to 10 miles, which is pretty good.
Well, when I first decided that I was going to take the challenge with my family, I had my own little issues to deal with. Got a couple knee issues, but yeah, I decided to put all of those aside and get on my bike, which is probably the best thing I could do, and slowly worked my way up to about 35 to 40 miles every other day, riding a bike uphill and downhill in Virginia, where I currently live. And with the support of my daughters and of my wife Heidi, we all rode our bikes together in preparation for this day, and I think I'm definitely ready for the challenge.
Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous about making the climb myself. It's a big challenge. It's going to be 8 hours of a physical challenge for myself and many of us. So. It'll be interesting to see how I do tomorrow.
The thing that comes to mind as we'll probably be walking up the hill is that my brother and I have gone through a lot of challenges growing up, particularly because we are quote-unquote Irish twins, being 9 months and 3 days apart. Always is a butt end of everyone's jokes, and we actually were in the same grade in high school. We shared the same girlfriends, the same cars. We shared quite a bit together, but we also got into quite a number of tussles together as well, particularly on the football field. We both played football together. I was the quarterback, he was the middle linebacker, and there was a little animosity, a little brotherly love going on there. I loved to run through him, and of course he loved to run through me. And the one that I remember most was that he put his helmet right in my chest and put me down, and I was literally trying to gasp for air for about 1 or 2 minutes. And as I go up that hill from 8,000 to 14,000 feet, probably gasping for a little bit of air, I'll always remember Drew putting his helmet in my thing and just giving me the ride of my life.
For everyone is that you're a fraction of a second away from being part of our minority group. If we're to be viewed as a minority group, people with disabilities in the United States are about 60 million. We're the largest minority group in the country. And we're the most inviting because anybody can be a member of our minority group at any time for no fault of their own. Thus was my case as a result of a spinal cord injury in 1996 from a car accident. But we're here to climb Pikes Peak up to the summit. We're going to start at the base of the mountain, which is at 7,000 feet, and we'll be climbing up to 14,100 feet. And I think it's important for me to participate, one, to be visible, because people with spinal cord injuries who use wheelchairs are not very visible in our community. And I think it's important that we be more visible. And thus I thought it was important for me to take on this challenge. And plus it gives me an opportunity to gather the family. To take this walk with me. I'm more concerned about them reaching the summit as for me reaching the summit for reasons that'll be obvious if you see the pictures of my brothers. You'll find that to be true. And so I'm looking forward to the challenge. It's going to be a tremendous challenge. As you see, the weather right now is not cooperating. It went from 90 degrees and beautifully sunny yesterday to now it's about 45 degrees maybe with thick fog and it's quite cold. And there's a chance of rain as well. So if the weather cooperates, then it should be an incredible journey.
Well, I'm here because I'm here to cheer Uncle Drew on, and I'm excited for him to do this. I just feel like shocked that he wants to do this, but I respect it, and I think it's amazing because climbing Pikes Peak is an achievement of life. It's just not something that you do every single day. I mean, if you could do that, well, then you're a champion. Uncle Drew, you're a champion. You're my hero. I love you.
I'm proud to have my beautiful daughter, Alicia Gallegos. She's now Alicia Hine with me, and she is my one of my biggest fans and supporters on this endeavor. And this event is even more special and remarkable because of my son, who proposed to his girlfriend, now fiancée, Natalia Avila, this morning, and she said yes. And we're going to be celebrating a little tonight, but more after the event tomorrow, because alcohol will certainly have an effect on us with the altitude. So we're going to celebrate just a little tonight, and then tomorrow we're going to party down after the event.
In the name of love.
In the name of love.
Love you.
Perfect. Right. There's black ice on the highway, so they had to close it down this morning, and so we just need to be cognizant of that. If there's a decision to close it down tomorrow, then Tina's going to call us in the morning around 3:30. Just let us know. So.
am Alicia Gallegos. I'm the daughter of Andres Gallegos, our team captain, and I did this for him. My dad always pushes us when we were kids, before his accident and even after, and you know, the accident for him was not a definition of who he was or what he could do, and I think he proved that yesterday on the hike, to everybody, including himself. And for me, that's always been something that he's instilled in us. And so I did this for him and for myself, to prove to myself that I could set out and climb a mountain, because not a lot of people can. It takes hard work and dedication. I didn't train as much as others did. I know others were very serious about the training, and everybody knows, you know, themselves and their bodies best. And for me, I do a lot of yoga, and I just stuck with my techniques that I learned in breathing. They teach you to breathe through the pain. And so I thought that was going to be enough to get me up the mountain, and thank God it was. I do a lot of physical challenges. You know, last year I ran my first half marathon, and then that was difficult. And sometimes I think I try to steer away from the physically challenging, because nobody likes the pain, having to grit and bear it through it. But it speaks a lot of volumes to be able to push yourself, and it proves to yourself, you know, what you're capable of. And so for me, I wanted to push myself to the top of that mountain, knowing that that is something that I may never get the opportunity to do again, with my family and my father by my side. So I pushed myself for me to get up there, but it was knowing that if my father could walk and be with us, that he would be on that mountain with us. So you're gonna edit all this out, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Maybe.
No, you have to. Well, the story up the mountain was quite an exciting one. We started at 5 a.m., the team of girls. It was dark, it was pitch black, but it was beautiful because we could see all the stars. And the best part about the beginning of the climb was you didn't really know where you were going. You had flashlights, we all had little headlights, and all you did was look up and you saw a little trail of headlights just kind of going up the mountain like this. And it was such a cool experience because you just saw these bouncing lights guiding you where you were going, and we used a lot of verbal communications. You know, there were holes on the side, we didn't know what was over the railings, we couldn't really see where we were going, so we really worked together as a team until the sun rose, which was an incredible experience. I mean, we see sunrises, you know, you live in Chicago and they're beautiful, but nothing will ever compare to the beauty of a sunrise as you're in the midst of climbing a mountain and seeing just the natural landscape and beauty of, you know, where we were in Colorado. It was incredible. Of course, we stopped and took a lot of photos, and we took our time going up to the halfway point, and it was a difficult trek to get there. 6 miles of steep terrain, rocks, fallen trees, a really physical task for all of us to get to that halfway point, but that was our first marker. You know, get there by 10 a.m., we made it by 9. And then from there, we had the decision to keep going to the summit, or those who wanted to turn back and take the 6 miles back down. So Christy and I decided that we felt great at the 6 mile marker. You know, the altitude wasn't really impairing us. Physically, we felt perfect. So we're like, why not? You know, we're feeling good. Let's just keep going. Thinking that it was just going to be a nice, you know, steep 6 miles up to the top, and there we would be at the same time as my dad and the rest of the team got there. Little did we know that there was a massive lightning storm coming, and around mile 10, our climb got really difficult. The fog set in. It was hard to see where we were going. The altitude is much thinner up there in the air, and so it became difficult to breathe. We started to get really lightheaded, and there were portions of the climb where we didn't know where we were going, because at that point you're above the tree line, it's all rock formation, and it all looks the same. You don't know if that's the path that you're supposed to follow and that's part of the trail, or if that's just where the rocks are going. So it was hard for us, but she and I worked together as a team. We relied on our fellow hikers and our search and rescue crew to help guide us through the rest of the trek. We ended up needing to use oxygen just because of the fact that the lack of air was making us very, very lightheaded and disoriented. And there's no shame in taking oxygen on a hike like that, because you won't know, seeing this video, you know, you won't know until you experience yourself what it's like to have a lack of air and push yourself up a mountain. So oxygen was welcomed because we felt great after we had it. You know, we felt like we could push through anything, whereas before we were having to really stop every few feet. And it was a blessing that that search and rescue team was available at certain checkpoints to help us and assist us, because little did we know that this lightning storm was coming in, you know, fast and hard, and next thing you know, it's thundering incredibly loud. I've never been so close to a thunderstorm. And then it was snowing, and then it was hailing. And my guide, he called himself my escort from the search and rescue team. We were walking with the oxygen. We were about 2 miles up. We were so close. And he kept telling me about lightning and educating me about if I start to feel weird, if I start to feel static electricity build up in my body, you know, I need to tell him right away because we have to drop our packs and run. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna get struck by lightning on this mountain. And I'm hooked up to an oxygen tank, and at this point he's basically telling me, tell me if you feel weird, because at that point it's me or you. But we pushed through it. We had to hunker down at one point because the lightning did get very close, which was incredibly scary because you never know where lightning's gonna hit until it hits. And at that point it was just a guessing game. If the lightning comes close and doesn't hit anybody that was with us, there were about 38 climbers left, you know, great. We got to hunker down and hide, and that's exactly what we did. So we all split up. We hid under rocks for a good 15 minutes in pea-sized hail, and I just remember thinking, this has turned into a survival mode type of event. It went from a fun walk to survival mode, and in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, Dad, what did you get me into? But the storm passed. It was beautiful after it passed. The sun came out, the clouds came out, the storm moved by so quickly. And nobody knew at the time that Christy and I were stuck on this mountain during the storm. Everybody else from the rest of the team, they had been done for hours, and it took us a lot longer than we thought to finish our last 3 miles up the mountain. And nobody knew what we were going through at the time. We tried sending out text messages, but for the fear of lightning and no cell service, little did they know that while they were driving home and seeing the storm pass, that we were hunkered down, a mile from the top, hiding. So it made for a great surprising story when we got home, and it was an incredible feeling when we made it up those 16 golden stairs. It's the last section of the mountain. It's about a half a mile of just straight lunges on these stairs. They're rock formations. 16 golden stairs, and we made it to the top, and we're like 3 stairs from the top, and I look up and I see 2 figures that looked really familiar, but I couldn't really get in my mind that they were there because the boys' team had finished hours before Christy and I, and the storm was coming in, so they headed back down the mountain. And I'm looking up as we're getting ready to finish, and I see my husband and Christy's husband, my brother-in-law, and I just couldn't believe that they had stayed. They sat through the storm and waited for us, knowing that we were still on the mountain, and it was such an incredible feeling to come off the crest of the mountain to the summit, see the finish flag, see my husband waiting for me. I wish my father had been there still. I wanted to have that moment with him at the top, knowing that we were both going to do it, but it was great to have our support network with us and knowing that everybody knew we were safe and everybody knew that we were doing it for them. And it was an incredible feeling. We turned around and there was a beautiful rainbow over the mountain at the end. So we had weathered the storm literally and saw the rainbow at the end, and it couldn't have been a more incredible experience. Scary, but incredible. And I'm very happy that I pushed myself to get to that top, because that is not a story that you could make up. It is not something that you could ever imagine having to experience. It's a once-in-a-lifetime event, and needless to say, I am done with climbing mountains. Dad, I love you very much. I know I've told you on multiple occasions that you are my hero, and after today, you're more than that. You're like a superhero. Climbing that mountain, I am so incredibly proud of you. I thought you were crazy when you wanted to do this, and I thought terrible things were going to happen. But you did it. We did it. I am so proud of you. Our friends, our family, I can't thank them enough for taking care of you and themselves and getting you up that mountain. I know how important it was for you. You can do anything, and you teach us that every day. I'm sorry for getting so emotional, but you mean so much to me, and I know you mean so much to the family, and I just can't believe the strength that you pull every day to do what you do, facing your disability, knowing that it's not who you are, doesn't define you. And I think that is the most that I'm proud of you for, because you don't only teach that to us and the family, but you teach that to everybody that you meet, and you meet incredible people every day. And through you, they see your strength and that you can overcome anything, whether it's a spinal cord injury, whether it's a brain injury, the people that we hiked for yesterday, and knowing that at any point in time, life can change, and to make the most of everything. And so I thank you for pushing us, for going up that mountain, even though I thought you were crazy. But none of us would have done it without you. I don't think any one of us would have thought, let's go do this. It's because of you. You challenge us every day in multiple ways. And it makes us stronger, better individuals. And you've taught me so many great lessons through life. And I look forward to all the great things that we're going to do together in the future, and your next crazy, as Mom calls it, baton death march that you want to take us all on. I vote for just floating in the ocean on a beach. We'll put some floaties on you and make it a nice, safe, and relaxing experience, because this was terrifying. But I am really glad that we all made it, and we all did it for you. And I can't tell you the number of text messages I got in those rare moments where we did get cell phone service from the rest of the team. Our family members, our extended family members, they love you and they know you, but it's our friends who, they don't really get to see the real side of you until, they got to that mountain with you. And Chris, my brother-in-law, he sent me a text message up the mountain. You guys were halfway up at that point, and he was like, man, Andres is a badass. And I got that text message as we were getting ready to head up to the summit, and I thought, yeah, He is. I've always known he is, but it makes me feel so proud and happy to see other people see you as I do. And that's really what motivates me every day to do what I need to do, what I want to do, what I'm passionate about. All those things come from you and from Mom. And I just want to thank you for being such an amazing father and amazing role model, not only to me, but to everybody that you touch. Why do you have to make me cry?
With the boys, do we want to get them up at 2:30?
Are you getting up at 2:30?
Well, that's what we all want to talk about.